Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We are in the Masters of the Wild book from 3rd edition today, continuing the Prestige class videos. The Prestige class we'll be looking at today is Bloodhound. I want to read a little bit about the Bloodhound, and then we will get into the requirements to become a Bloodhound. Then we'll look at the class abilities and levels, and then we'll read the detailed description of the abilities. And the whole time I'll be giving you comments on if anything I would change if I wanted to use this for a Pathfinder game. So the Bloodhound tracks down wrongdoers and brings them to whatever justice awaits them. Low-level Bloodhounds depend on their keen senses and careful training to hunt their targets. As they gain experience, their obsessive determination gives them supernatural abilities that make them nearly unstoppable. Most bloodhounds work for money, usually a lot of it, but some accept jobs for justice, revenge, or enjoyment. When a bloodhound accepts a job, he designates his target as a mark. Thereafter, he does not abandon the case until it is finished, which occurs when the mark is apprehended or when either the mark or the bloodhound dies. So, the requirements to become a bloodhound prestige class. You need to have a base attack bonus of +4. You have to have gather information 4 ranks, and move silently 4 ranks, and wilderness lore 4 ranks. You must have the feats run and track. If you select the right class, you'll get the track for free. So the first few changes I would make is I wouldn't change the skill point requirements and ranks, but this is just changes you would have to be aware of. I think gather information is now part of diplomacy in Pathfinder. Move silently is now part of stealth. And wilderness lore is now called survival. So those would be the changes right away that would need to be addressed if you're trying to use this for a Pathfinder game. When you level as a Bloodhound, you gain a D10 hit dice, and it's a 10 level prestige class. Weapon and armor proficiencies. Bloodhounds are proficient with light armor, shields, and both simple and martial weapons. If you have other weapon and armor proficiencies, it doesn't say you lose your abilities for it right here, but we will find out further as we read into the class. Class skills. You get 6 plus your intelligence modifier and skill points every level. The following skills are class skills: appraise, bluff, climb, diplomacy, disguise, forgery, gather information, heal, hide, intimidate, intuit direction, jump, listen, move silently, open lock, ride, search, sense motive, spot, swim, use rope, and wilderness lore. So obviously you'd have to change the skills for Pathfinder to be their equivalent. Like we were saying, gather information, I believe, is part of diplomacy now. And whatever else, like hide and stealth, or hide and move silently, are now stealth, so that's just 1 skill. Listen and spot and search are now 1 skill. So you just have to look up the combination of what they are now and say those are your skills that are class skills. So let's look at the table, see what all you get at each level. We'll first look at the base attack bonus. The base attack bonus at first level is +1 and will progress as you level, so it's no different than leveling like a fighter. By 10th level, it's a +10. So you'll be 4th level before you take a level of this class. So if you take it as soon as you level from 4th level. So by 10th level, you'd have a base attack bonus of +14 because your previous base attack bonus would add into this. The class's best save is reflex save, which gives you a +2 at first level. And by 10th level will be a +7. The fortitude and will saves are +0s. By the time you reach 10th level, they're only +3s because they are not your best saves. And they stack with your previous class, so whatever your previous class bonuses were, the 4 levels you have of it would stack. At first level, you get determination, mark, and no subdual penalty. At 2nd level, you get dead or alive, fast tracking, ready and waiting. At 3rd level, you get peacekeeping and restlessness. At 4th level, you get improved subdual and move like the wind. At 5th level, you get shatter and traceless track. At 6th level, you get ignore scrying and locate creature. At 7th level, you get fracture and see invisibility. At 8th level, you get subdual resistance. At 9th level, you get ignore magical barriers. And at 10th level, you get find the path. So let's read further and see what all those are in greater detail. Determination. At 1st level, a character gains the insight bonus equal to the Bloodhound level on gather information, spot, and wilderness lore checks made to determine the whereabouts of a mark. The next ability, mark. At 1st level, the character can target or mark an individual humanoid foe. To do so, the Bloodhound must focus on a foe who is present and visible, or on the depiction or description of one who is not, for 10 minutes. Any interruption ruins the attempt and forces the Bloodhound to start the process again. Once this study is complete, the target is called a mark, and the Bloodhound receives a variety of advantages against him or her. A Bloodhound may move up to 1 mark per 2 Bloodhound levels. A Bloodhound may have up to 1 mark per 2 Bloodhound levels, rounded up, at once, but only if all of them are within 30 feet of one another for the duration of the marking process. For example, a 6th level Bloodhound can mark 3 bugbears in such a group, but not a bugbear on one side of the kingdom and a troll on the other. If a Bloodhound chooses a new mark before the apprehension of an existing one, the latter one is unmarked, and the Bloodhound loses XP equal to the amount he would have gotten for defeating that creature. The Bloodhound can mark an individual once a week. Alternatively, you could say if they wanted to lose the mark, they would lose the gold piece value from their own stores equal to the XP they would have got for the marked individual. Just to give you more options there. But in 3rd edition, when you made magical items, you divided the item cost in half, and then 1/5 of that was XP cost, of the remainder was XP cost, and then the rest was GP cost in material to make the item. So you burned XP in 3rd edition. Also, if you were a wizard with a familiar, if your familiar died, you lost XP. No subdual penalty. Also, at 1st level, the Bloodhound can use a melee weapon that deals normal damage to deal subdual damage instead without suffering the -4 penalty on his attack roll. That's pretty useful. Dead or alive. At 2nd level, the Bloodhound learns to strike for subdual at just the right moment to avoid killing a mark. Immediately after striking a blow that would reduce a mark from positive to negative hit points, the Bloodhound may convert the normal damage dealt by that blow to subdual damage before it takes effect. The Bloodhound cannot use this ability while raging or after 1 round has passed. Fast tracking. At 2nd level, the Bloodhound no longer suffers a -5 penalty on wilderness lore checks for tracking while moving at normal speed. Ready and waiting. Also at 2nd level, the Bloodhound may, as a free action, designate a particular move, equivalent, standard, or full round action that a mark who is flat-footed might perform. If the mark actually performs this action within 10 minutes thereafter, the Bloodhound can make an attack of opportunity against him or her with a drawn weapon, either melee or ranged. This counts against the Bloodhound's attack of opportunity for that round. Peacekeeping. At 3rd level, a Bloodhound tracking a mark can raise his own speed by up to +5 feet per Bloodhound level to a maximum value equal to the mark's speed. That's pretty cool. Relentlessness. When a Bloodhound reaches 3rd level, he gains damage reduction 5 to nothing against subdual damage from a forced march while in pursuit of a mark. Improved subdual. At 4th level, the Bloodhound uses his intelligence bonus on the damage roll for any attack that deals only subdual damage. So I would probably have that stacked with your strength bonus, because it doesn't say you're stacking both. It just says you can use your intelligence bonus on it. Move like the wind. At 4th level, the Bloodhound ignores armor check penalty on his move silently and hide checks. In addition, he no longer suffers the -5 penalty on those checks when moving at speeds between half and full. Traceless track. At 5th level, the Bloodhound can track a creature moving under the influence of Pass Without a Trace or a similar effect, though he suffers a -10 circumstance penalty on his Wilderness Lore checks. Shatter. At 5th level, the Bloodhound can destroy an object that stands between himself and his mark when the latter is within 100 feet. This ability functions like a shatter spell cast by the sorcerer of the character's Bloodhound level. That's pretty cool. Ignore Scrying. At 6th level, the Bloodhound gains spell resistance equal to 10 plus his Bloodhound level against divination spells. This stacks with any other spell resistance that he has that includes spells of that school. Locate Creature. Once per day, the Bloodhound can produce an effect identical to that of Locate Creature spell cast by a sorcerer of the Bloodhound's character level. Fracture. At 7th level, the character can use his Shatter ability to destroy weight equivalent portions of a larger object, such as doors and walls, regardless of their construction. That's cool. See Invisibility. This ability gained at 7th level functions like the See Invisibility spell, except that it is constantly in effect and it reveals only the people marked. Subdual Resistance. At 8th level, the Bloodhound gains damage reduction 20 to +3 against subdual damage. Ignore Magical Barriers. At 9th level, the Bloodhound gains spell resistance equal to 15 plus his Bloodhound level against magical barriers, Wall of Force, Entangle, Prismatic Wall, and so forth. Find the Path. At 10th level, the Bloodhound can produce the effect like a Find the Path spell cast by a druid of the Bloodhound's character level. It is usable 3 times per day. That's pretty cool. And then there's a Bloodhound organization that it goes into, which essentially supports the Bloodhound and funds what they're doing. So you could include that in your game if you wanted or not. If you all want me to do a quick video on it, let me know in the comments. Other than that, I think that's the video. I've made comments on what I would change as I was reading it. And not a lot I would change, but there's a few things. Some of it just needs to be updated to the wording that we would use for Pathfinder. But I don't see anything major that needs to be changed for this class to be very cool and useful in a Pathfinder game. Let me know your all's opinions in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.